We are the creators of reality. Those who have mastered perseverance, those who thrive despite attempts to thwart us, those who make magic at the root of the very trees they hung us from. We are the mountains and the rivers. We are the sun and the moon. We are sand and gems. We are the first and the final. We be big and small. We be light and dark. We be seasoned and youthful. We be sensual and sacred. Those gifted and divine. Those powerful and radical. Those vibrant and ancestral. We are the creators of reality. We are the Black Oasis. Welcome to the Black Oasis podcast. I'm your host, Kaya Supreme, and this is the place where we lay it all down. Now, anybody who watches or listens to Black Oasis knows that we are spirit-led and that it is my intention to highlight all the different elements of the Black community, of the Oasis, that make us powerful, divine, beautiful. And if we are able to acknowledge those places and spaces, we have to be in tune, aware, spiritually grounded, because we can miss it. We can get caught up in life. We can get caught up in the things going around us, and you could come across an angel and not know it. But thankfully, I was able to be present enough to recognize when God sent a divine being across my path. So today's guest is a new friend, a new sister, but still powerful, still potent. She is a chef, a mother. She hails from the NYC. She is the owner of some Airbnb properties and spaces that house a beautiful and phenomenal event called Wellness Wednesdays. And I am so honored to have her on, to highlight her, to love her, to shout her out, because she really, truly impacted my life in a very potent way. And I'm not sure if she even knew how much I needed her gifts and talents on that day. So without further ado, the divine, the supreme, the beautiful, the phenomenal, the ebullient, the real Chef Nilka! Woo,
Oh my God.
woo, 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 woo!
That was incredible. Thank you, Queen.
You're
I'm
welcome.
just, you gave me chills.
Oh,
Yes.
you deserve it. We like one of my elders says, we should exalt each other the same way we exalt God. And
Mm-hmm.
we should always let each other know that we see God in each other. So I
Mm-hmm.
magnify you. I worship the ground that you
Ashe.
walk on. You
Yes.
are almighty. You are all powerful. You are worthy of all the praise.
Mm.
Are. And I'm so happy to have you here. Why don't we just start out with you telling us a little bit about who you be, who you are, where you from. Just give us the
I'll give you the entire vibe. We got time today.
vibe.
My name is Nilka. I was born in Monterey, California. My dad was in the army. My mother and father are two immigrants from Panama. So we moved from, my grandfather moved from Panama to Brooklyn, brought the whole family over. So I was raised in Brooklyn, moved from Brooklyn when I was 7, and then I was raised in Long Island, New York. So, but yes, like I am definitely been on a journey. I became a young mom. I'm never shied from that because I believe that we all should hold ourselves accountable for our choices. So I was a teen mom, single mom, 3 girls, went through the peaks and valleys of doing that. So now, I'm at a place where my girls are older now, everybody's self-sufficient. And I'm just in a new place of me, of being me, you know what I mean? And being at ease. Like I'm at this stage in my life, I want peace and ease. I don't want nothing crazy. But growing up, I grew up in a single parent household though. My mom, divorced my dad and went through all that, yada yada.
Real.
And but I seen my mother get up every day and go to work. I seen my mother get up every day and take care of her children. I seen the strength in her. So I'm a reflection of her. So who I am, I have to give homage to my mother. You know what I mean? Because she's a phenomenal being, a powerful being, and like she protect her cubs as well. So
Yeah.
I just like, okay, and I don't know what it is for my mom to depend on a man or the system to take care of us. She got up every morning, 5:30 in the morning, got on that bus and went to work sun up to sundown. She did what she had to do to take care of us.
And
Yeah.
I think we, so many Black women do that, and are forced to do it, honestly, because survival. But I don't know if anybody's ever like started something and not finished it and just had the option to do that. But to
Mhm.
be so convicted to take care of your family and to provide for the people that you birth, because there are other options. People
Mhm.
could just truly just be like, it's too hard.
Mhm.
I don't want no parts of it.
Mhm.
But between you and your mother and any other Black woman who has dedicated her life
Mhm.
to raising children and sacrificing their dreams for a minute and hopes and whatever else might come along with it, we
Mhm.
say thank you, because it is no small feat.
It's not.
I was a nanny for 15 years. I
Oh,
got paid to come, and then I got to go home, and
right.
I was still tired.
Right. It's a lot.
Y'all don't get no breaks.
Not at all. There's no day off.
There's no day
There's
off.
no outlet. Even if you feel like kicking, screaming, packing your bags, running away, like where you going? What can you
Yeah,
do?
yeah,
So it's just finding that balance and knowing like when you were in a moment, it seems so big. And then when we look back, I'm like, dang, my daughter's driving. My youngest daughter graduated high school and college. My oldest daughter's 25. Like, oh my God. Like time moves like that. You know what I mean? But when you're in it, it just seems like, Lord, I don't know how much more I can take. Because I mean, it's tough because everything starts from you. You know what I mean? And I had to go out and work. I'm like, listen, I got to go hard. Like, I got to be 4 people in one household. You know what I mean? So,
yeah,
whatever work I do, it has to bring some type of monetary substance so to sustain us. You know what I mean? And that's what I did. But with doing that, I sacrificed time from my children. I sacrificed, memories, creating, you know what I mean? Just being still. That's why I think in this stage, I want ease because I went super, super hard to provide for them, working 16-hour days, working 6 days a week. You know what I mean? Like, doing everything I can to stay afloat. You know what I mean? And we still was struggling. So I'm
yeah.
like, Lord,
Wow. Yeah.
yeah.
I mean, you know, I just went through like this meditation, this yoga class, and something came over me around just the ability to relax the mind.
Mm-hmm.
And like, I mean, whether you have children or not, or what, in this society, we are always on go.
Mm-hmm.
So when you're like, you just want ease,
Mm-hmm.
I empathize, because even with that, like how often do we get to just stop
Mm-hmm.
the thoughts
Mm-hmm.
and truly mentally just like tap in and relax and be? It's truly a luxury,
Yeah.
and you've earned it.
Yeah.
So, how are you these days intentional about managing your self care? What journey are you on in this new time, this new me time, this
Mm-hmm.
new you done made it through, raised the kids, they self sufficient. It's all about you. What are you doing these days to just fortify yourself?
Honestly, it's giving myself time to be and not having no expectations. Like if I want to lay in the bed all day long, like today's a rest day, I'm gonna take it and I'm not gonna feel guilty about it. You know what I mean? Like sometimes we feel guilty about taking rest, or I'm so used to going, going, going. And when I do have downtime, something got to be wrong. No, it's okay. Your phone don't need to ring. You don't need to be talking to everybody. You don't need to be here and there. Like it's like we try to create something to feel valid, but I am enough. I know I'm enough, and I know everything that I have in this moment is all I need. You
Yeah,
know what I mean? I'm not trying to add into my orbit to raise my value. I'm valuable enough. You know what I mean? And just being intentional about showing up for Wellness Wednesday, being around like minded people. I'm a Pisces, so like I'm an introvert. I love people, but then now in my new, I'm like, oh God, I love this peace and solace. Like I'll be in my room all day long. Like I'm good. I'll go to the kitchen. I got my own bathroom. I'm gravy.
yeah,
So, but just being intentional about reading or writing or, you know what I mean, putting myself in a position to do stuff that make me happy, because for so long I was a mom and I was a chef. That was my identity. Chef, chef, chef. I'm like outside of that. No. I'm a creative. You know what I mean? It's stuff I
Yeah,
want to do. I love people. I love bringing people together. I love helping people. You know, something new came in my spirit. I want to write now. So I'm like, all right, let's tap into that. You know, but giving myself time, and I'm not operating out of a need. I'm not operating out of a necessity. Like I have to do this because this have to get done. Or no,
yeah,
just allowing myself just to be.
yeah. I mean, that's really living the life.
Hmm.
We see so many people who have all the money, so many people who have all the accolades, maybe
Hmm.
accolades, and it's laughable to me because everything is made by other human beings who have the exact same amount of time in the day as us,
Hmm.
capacity, whatever. But we really do have the power to put value on whatever we want, whatever we say. Like if
Right.
today everybody decided the dollar was worth nothing,
Right.
and we all agreed
Right.
it would just be worth nothing.
There you
You know?
go.
So why not the inverse? Why not take something that people might not find value in and make it extremely valuable, like quiet time?
Hmm.
It's just more price. It's more valuable, truly, to the spirit than
Hmm.
anything else. So that's phenomenal. You mentioned you were a chef, and
Hmm.
I had the pleasure. So let me just say this. All right, y'all. So let me just say this. When I met this woman, I had just had a really rough day. I had a challenging conversation with one of my family members early in the morning, and I don't know if you know anything about that, but those if you wake up to foolishness, it has the potential to ruin your day if you let it. And
Hmm.
so I was normally I think I would be able to feel something like that, but in this day I did not because I also had to go work in a very white space. So I woke up, I was triggered by some of the traumatic that happened to me through a family member, and then had to go to a place where I was performing. I had to be on my best.
Hmm.
Yeah, yes. How can I help you? Yeah, oh, right over there. I work for conferences and I do IT setup for conferences sometimes, and people talk to you a lot, and the white folks talk to you a lot, and they don't know what you're going through, and they also don't know that they can be who they be. Just that comes along with
Hmm.
their privilege. But it was a rough day, and so then I went to choir practice, and a mutual friend of ours, Mr. Mel Chris Olamide,
Hmm.
was like, I was in there, I was crying, and that was the first like. I got to choir, and that was the first time that I could actually release the emotions that I had felt
Hmm.
earlier that day. And he was like, "Well, I know something called Wellness Wednesdays. Do you want to come?" And I don't miss no boat. Like, God, like you drowning, God's gonna send you a boat. You ain't supposed to
Oh,
swim. I don't
listen.
miss no boats. So I was like, yes. Although I was tired, although I was drained, although I had an emotionally challenging day, I was like, if it's offered Wellness Wednesdays, that's what I need. I know I need nurturing and love, and I trust this brother. Lo and behold, go in, and this woman, we just all end up in dialogue. We start talking very transparently about our journeys and our stories. And then she goes into her gift of creating food and drink for people, and her process. We both learned that we worked in domesticated home settings, right? Like we were working in houses. I was in the nanny field, she was the chef,
Hmm.
and that experience and how that impacts you.
Yes.
We
Yes. It's
we
a thin
we gonna talk
line.
about that. We gonna talk.
Yes.
And then by the end of the night, I had had the most phenomenal kale salad. And I don't know what was in that shot you gave me, but girl, what was? Do you remember?
That was the lemon balm and sea moss shot. Hmm.
And I slept so good, so good. So just holding that. So thank you, sis. That's why I'm just like, thank
Lemon balm calms you. It's calms down your cognizance. It's good for your gut. Like it's a lot of great health benefits with lemon balm.
you.
Yes.
This woman here. And all you were doing was just doing what you do. You don't know, you know what I'm saying? But that's the beauty of spirit is when you're in place and when you're doing what you were created to do, it does the work for you. The people that are supposed to come across you who need you come to you. And I happen to be one of those souls that day. And I went again this week.
Mm-hmm.
Wellness Wednesday, and I got a massage, and it just keeps getting better and better,
Yes, yes.
better and better. So, so thank you.
You're
Uh,
welcome.
but talk to us about your journey from, motherhood and you're being a teenage mom to now finding yourself in the chef industry, in the culinary industry, that evolution. And then, were you always doing health and wellness type cuisine, or did that come about? Give us a little, some of that.
All right. So my journey from becoming a mom, I just always tried to better myself. Like I remember going to school. I ended up getting my GED because I had my daughter in high school. So, I made little choices. Some mornings I was like, oh, I don't feel like going to school today. I'm too comfortable. It's cold outside. I made that choice. When it was time for me to get my act together, some of my teachers was like, no, you're not going to graduate. Some was like, yeah, you're good. So I ended up having to get my GED. So I had to take my daughter to school. And then from there, I went to medical assistant school because I wanted to be a nurse. My grandmother got diagnosed with breast cancer when I was young. So I was like, I want to save the world. I want to help people. So for the longest time, I wanted to be a nurse. So fast forward, me working in the medical field, my mom get diagnosed
Mm,
with breast cancer. And I had registered to go to school to be an RN at the time. So now I had my three kids at the time as well. So I had to withdraw from school. I'm like, I can't focus and my mom is sick. We had to, take care of her through her healing process, all of that. Thank God she beat it. And from there, while through her healing, I was like, Ma, I don't want to work in the medical field no more because just being in the building all day long, I just felt trapped and then seeing kids sick and this and that. It was very, very pulling on my spirit. I'm like, I want to do more. I still could reach people. I was like, I want to cook. So me and my best friends, we started cooking, working with this guy, working with catering. And then little by little, one on one dropped off. I remained. I was like, let me go to culinary school. Let me see. So I ended up going to culinary school. That was a challenge, but I did it. And then from there, I got a job working. I wanted to work in fine dining when I was going to culinary school for my externship. And the guy was like, "Oh, they're never going to hire you." I'm like, "What do you mean? Because you don't have experience." I'm like, "Well, how am I supposed to get experience if they don't, give me a try?" They stuck me in a nursing home. I was livid. When I tell you I was mad, I was like, "I don't want to do this. It's not what I want to cook." So, from there, I started working at a Jewish caterer. Then I got a job in the Hamptons. And then that just like took off. And then from there, I did Hell's Kitchen. I was on season 7, Hell's Kitchen. It was like, it was a journey. You know what I mean? A journey, a journey, a journey. Gordon Ramsay, child. I was on season 7, the only black woman with an afro. Hey, I was on Yes Chef. And that experience for me, it was like, nothing is impossible. I did this so that I could be able to provide for my daughters. Nothing I do is for me. It's for I'm be able so that they can survive, so
yeah.
we can survive together as a family. I was like, I'm not into all the reality. I'm not gonna be on no Flavor of Love or nothing like that.
Right, right.
I'm like, but a cooking show I can do. So I end up doing that. And then, just doors been open, but I had to grind. I had to work my way up from working in Garde Manger to becoming, going on the line and then becoming Sue and then executive chef. So it's definitely been a journey for me, and you know, I give thanks though because each thing led me like spirit guides me. I don't move unless it's in alignment, like it's in my gut. Like okay, I'm sure about this, then I'm going to move. But if not, then it's not happening. That's what led me to Georgia. It jumped in my spirit. God said it's time for you to go. Like
Yeah.
New York is over with. I knew nothing. I came down by myself. I gave up executive sous job. I did lunch for a private school. I was catering on the side. Like I was hustling in New York. I gave it all away. I said, whatever I release, I will get back tenfold. I gave up the house job, came down to Georgia, and here you go. Like God definitely opened doors for me.
Wow. All this orchestration, and
One thing lead to the next.
it's so beautiful.
Yeah.
So beautiful. And I mean, and you're so humble, because that you're phenomenally gifted and talented, but you just serve and just give. Um, at Wellness Wednesday, there is no price tag. It's just love offering.
Mm-hmm.
And people have the opportunity to give.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm sure in fine dining, you're making, listen. buku,
Mhm.
good money, but it's clearly not about the money for you.
Mm-mm.
How has your experience with community impacted your journey?
I will say community is everything because you're nothing without your tribe. I would have never have made it without my family, my mom, my best friends. Two of my best friends, Key and Tawana, we was power of three. You know what I mean? We supported each other. I couldn't have made it without them. Somebody helped me watch my kids so I can go to work, make sure that they're safe. And then what I gave back to the community, doing cooking classes, mentoring, I think is important. Like we need each other. And that's what it should be. Lead in love. Like it's so much darkness in the world. Like if you have a gift and a power, that's all it should be. Just utilize it for the greater good. You know what I mean? And that's when, people go through the challenges of different religions and spiritualities. Like at the end of the day, whatever you're following should be about peace and love.
Yeah,
That's it.
that's it.
That's it.
That's
Like help your neighbor, help your friend, support each other. Community. We're nothing without community. We see what happened to our community. You know what I mean? See how it got destroyed, you know? But that's not all who we are. We're still a lot of light out here that's doing good. Our light could show somebody something different. You know what I mean? I didn't even know I could think that way. I didn't know I could feel that way. I didn't know somebody cared. I didn't know I have a space I can go to where somebody can hear me and listen to me, a safe space. A lot of times people don't feel heard. They don't feel loved. They don't feel validated. They're
Yep.
just floating and operating off of that anger, off of that pain.
Yeah. Reactionary.
Reactionary. Love is much sweeter than war. So I
Mhm.
choose to lead in love. It's two sides to all of us now. It's what you want to bring out. Now, God gave us that for protection, but I don't choose to operate in that. I don't like that.
Yeah,
Too much.
and you really get the opportunity. So this is doubling back to working in
Mm-hmm.
in homes. Um, you and I mean this is like you work for families from all walks of life, so it's not uh, a racial thing. I will say as a child care provider, I was in predominantly white homes, and so those were the experience. Like I was raising their children,
Mm-hmm.
um, and I didn't necessarily have outright, well, a few times racist folks, but because of the ideology that we existed in this country, white supremacy manifests in the smallest fiber of people's beings. Implicit bias. People are not even aware that the way that they think, move, and operate um, is rooted in the belief that they are superior to you.
Mm-hmm.
And it was the hardest thing for me spiritually to go every day and raise their children in love and do what I know to do, which is to nurture and enhance and inspire these little people
Mm-hmm.
with and remove that angst and that ancestral anger toward the people that are also paying my bills and providing for me. Um, and I think Black people do that all the time. It's like we are always in these spaces where we're still showing up and choosing to be our best and most excellent selves in spite of the way that we're treated by others. And I believe that's probably why we're so blessed because there really is no reason why Black people are still here to this day.
Mm-hmm.
From all the things we survived, from Jim Crow, crack cocaine,
Listen. Listen.
and we are not only here, we're thriving,
Mm-hmm.
thriving. And so I always ask people one question on these episodes: if you could wake up tomorrow and have one wish for Black people, what would it be? I mean, like literally, go to sleep, wake up, snap, boom, this is the reality. What would it be?
Community and harmony.
Why?
Because it's important when we come together. This power is strength in numbers.
Hmm.
Number one. But the thing is though, we're all individuals. Yes, we're a race. Yes, we're a community. Yes, we have similarities. We're also individuals. So we also have our own mind. So also it's like minds unite. You know what I mean? The power of that, if the forces really, really come together, could really, really change the world and not expect an Oscar or a Grammy from them. Not trying to fit in, or you know what I mean, be validated by them. Really create our own, and hit them in the pockets, the dollar. You know what I mean? Like that's where you hit them. If we pulled out our money today, say we ain't spending another dime to nobody that doesn't look like us, it'll collapse.
Collapse, implode.
It will,
It,
yeah.
it will. Listen, I wish the same thing. Um, I wish the same thing. I think we're on our way. I think we're on our
Hmm.
way. I'm so grateful for social media. You know, it comes with its challenges, but the access that people have to information,
Hmm.
it's so much more. You know, our younger generations, the ones coming behind us, are so knowledgeable.
Hmm.
I know several young people who already just have a standard of character that would blow your mind. They are
Hmm.
convicted to be healthy people. They are
Hmm.
raised. I mean, it's just like the most refreshing thing to see. So I'm so excited
Yeah.
because although I think our wish for Black people will not happen like this, it is happening, and slowly but surely, slowly but surely, slowly but
Hmm.
surely. So this is my last thing. You you fed me, you know, spiritually and physically. What are some things that specifically Black women can incorporate in their diet, in their bodies, or in their their food lifestyle? Because I'm not currently on a 10-day juice cleanse. What are some healthy things, if you could just name like two or three things that you would recommend that we always have on hand to keep us well?
I'll say sea moss, lemon balm, mullein. Um, I just got some elderberry. I'm about to make some elderberry syrup. I just feel, add more greens into your diet, do more salads. It's all about balance. You don't have to have meat with every meal. You know what I mean? Just be conscious of what we're putting in our body and just being intentional, because the beverage I made you, it saves my life. You know
Mm,
what I mean? Like it literally saved my life because it helps your thyroids. It helps with, so many hormonal, a lot of I had a lot of bloating. I had my gallbladder removed. So my stomach is always a big issue. You know what I mean? And it calms that down. A friend of mine, we helped create that. I helped him create that. You know what I mean? He started thinking about, I'm like, oh, well, what about this? What about that? And we helped create the whole thing. I was like, oh my God. But I'm like, you saved my life. And I had to keep it going. You know what I mean? If somebody needs to do something to you, it's up to you to take it. But if you see the effects that it's doing for your life, just do it.
yeah,
A lot of times we like, once again, we think we got time forever and we don't think about it. Oh, I'm just gonna go McDonald's, get this burger and these fries and da 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 da. You're putting nothing but chemicals in your body. There's no nutrients in it. I understand sometimes, our schedule is full. You can't even think past what's for dinner. But if we take a second and prepare yourself and prep out, then you'll be okay. I did a 30-day fast from December to the new year, no meat. And then I continued it. I'm like, I love the way I feel. I don't want to add meat back into my diet. If I feel like I want something, I will. I'm not going to, stop myself. But if I don't feel it, then I'm not just going to do it out of habit. You know what I'm
right.
saying? Breaking habits is important. And juicing, I will recommend juicing as well. Because you said you want to juice.
Hmm.
Yeah, cleanse. Nice.
Juicing is phenomenal. You'll just be surprised that, you know, like once you break past that mental barrier. I'm on day 6 right now. Once you break past that mental barrier, like you said, the habit of chewing and the habit of the flavors and the smells or
Hmm.
whatever, and all those things are truly just like momentary. You know,
Hmm.
they don't last. The nutrients are what last.
Exactly.
And the way that I feel, I was only really tired on day 4. But since yesterday and today, I woke up fortified, ready to go, energized. So I'm on the straightaway. I hit the curve. It was like if you can make it through a Friday night, because I don't know about anybody, but Friday night is my night where
Yeah.
that's when I want
Yeah.
to jump off. You know.
Listen, I know, but you got to clear that gut out.
Mhm.
Honestly, when you're full of shit, you feel
Literally.
it.
Yeah.
Literally, you feel it. You know what I mean? And when you get that cleanse, like, oh my God, everything feel brighter. I feel good. I feel
Mhm.
lighter.
The sky. I was like, is this what the sky always looks
Right. Right.
like? It's phenomenal. Just your senses are heightened.
Hmm.
And the way I feel like, metaphorically, if you could just envision God's hand resting and you just step out and stand on it,
Right.
and the next step you take, another hand catches it. And so I just feel like I'm walking and my steps are truly ordered. Um,
Exactly.
and I'm aware that, and it's just like, so I almost feel like clairvoyant, like I know what might happen next. Like I just kind of feel that way. Like I'm truly weaving the reality. So
Hmm.
I highly recommend juicing. This is the first time that I've juiced with such clarity and intention.
Hmm.
I've always, been juicing on and off. More so when I first came to Atlanta, I would do it really, really heavily. But I highly recommend. So mullein, elderberry, lemon balm. What
Yeah.
else did you say?
I got sour sap too.
Ooh,
Stuff is good for, stress, anxiety, lower your blood pressure. Like all these things have healthy benefits instead of running straight to the doctor and getting all these pills. Like, let's be proactive, you know what I mean? Instead of being reactive, to certain things. And, being a chef, I have different clients. So sometimes I have to figure out things. I learn new things or get introduced to new things, you know what I mean? And I'm like, oh, well, if I'm feeding them this, why can't I feed myself this? You know what I mean?
right.
It's like I'm feeding them this and I'm gonna go get a burger. That don't make sense.
Wow.
Like keep be in alignment with mind, body, and spirit. Everything got to be in alignment. So I just wake up every day being intentional. First of all, I give thanks for I'm alive. Like I give thanks for the breath that's coming out of my lungs, out of my body. And I'm like, okay, I got another day. I'm here. I'm here because the inevitable is inevitable, but it's what we do while we're here. People that you affect, you know what I mean? Being your authentic self. And I always say is about how you show up in the world. Once again, from being individuals, but how do we show up? How do you treat people? You know what I mean? How do you hold yourself accountable for things?
Right. Well, how can people get in contact with you? How can people? What services are you currently offering? I know you want ease. You know what I mean, if any. But let's say people just want to taste something you've made.
Well, so I have a company. My company is called Loose Lips Eatery, and we offer private chef services, catering services, private dinners, intimacy. We travel. We do traveling chefs. So I work with a team of amazing, amazing chefs here in Atlanta. You can find me on Instagram, Chef Nilka, or my business is Loose Lips Eatery on Instagram as well.
Ashe.
Yes,
First, thank you, thank you.
you're welcome.
I am so happy that we did this. I truly wish nothing but more ease, 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 ease for your life,
Everyone, I want ease for
off
everyone.
life for everybody.
Yes, for everybody.
And so make sure you all hit her up. Make sure that you all contact her, because you know that whatever is made for you will be coming from a place of love and intention and
Mhm.
spiritual groundedness and just Black excellence. Black
Yes.
excellence. Thank you, everybody, for listening. Continue to support Black Oasis, blackoasis.org, or follow us on Instagram or Facebook at Black Oasis ATL. We love you, support you, appreciate you. And until next time, stay Black, but you don't really have a choice. And lucky you. Peace.